I'm Muddy River News and Sports publisher Bob Goff, and this is Matt Shuckman, editor of Muddy River Sports, and we have a big announcement.
We do. We know the lights shine bright on Friday nights normally in the fall, anywhere you go throughout our area, 10th and Jackson, McMaster's Avenue, all the county highways, but they're going to shine pretty bright right here in our own studio starting August 30th as we bring you Muddy Night Lights.
Our friends at Farm and Home Supply are going to be our lead sponsor, but we've got a lot of great sponsorship response that's making this possible, because what we want to do is bring on some staff, get some new equipment, and put together a comprehensive Friday night postgame show that will run from 10 to midnight. And then it will also be available if you stay or out on a road trip and you get back in time. When you wake up Saturday morning, it'll be right there for you to watch on Muddy River Sports.
Yeah, we want to showcase football throughout our area. We want to bring coaches on. We want to bring media members on. We want to bring people on to join us throughout a 2-hour show. We're going to go 10 to midnight every Friday night during the regular season. We're going to be live, so you're going to be able to find us on our website and on other social media platforms. And we want to talk football. We want to talk communities. We'll have scoreboards. We'll have rundowns of highlights. We'll talk about the big plays of the night and all those things. But we're going to have coaches join us via the phone line. We may have some special guests in the studio join us. And we're going to reach out to people throughout the area. We want to showcase football, high school football that is, and these communities. So it's not just talking about what happens between the lines. We're going to talk about the communities and the support, because we all know football Friday nights are pretty special in all of our area communities.
So, yes, Steve Inger will come here and give his review on the pork chop that he loves so much at Camp Point Central.
You know he's going to come back with a report on the concession stand food no matter where we send him.
But he always wants to go to Camp Point Central, not just because it's a great program and they're a defending state champ, but he wants to go for the pork chop.
No question about it. And if you go to Hannibal, don't you have to get a pirate dog?
Yes, our friend Don O'Brien, who's done some work for us in the past, yes, he's a connoisseur of the pirate dog, which, I've had a few of those myself over the years, that's for sure. But anyway, this show is going to be a lot of fun. We want to, again, talk to media members. Our friend Chris Dewar from KHQA is going to join us the first week for sure. And then we want to talk to the guys at Central Illinois Sports, over at the local radio stations, and get their weighing in on what they saw each and every Friday night around West Central Illinois and Northeast Missouri.
And we'll discuss the games of that night. We'll discuss what that means for the week coming up. We'll discuss what's going on in the conferences. We might have somebody join us that wants to talk about Western Big Six football, or Clarence Cannon football, or North Central Missouri Conference football, or we want to be broad in our spectrum of this. Is we don't want to be limited to just the highlights of that night. We want to talk to coaches. We want to talk to people in the know. We want to talk to people about the games, about the conferences, about what matters. Because again, week one's great, but by the time we get to week 7, then we're talking playoff predictions and who knows what injuries impact teams, and what kid came out of the blue to become a star running back that nobody expected at the beginning of the year. All those things. We want to bring you all those things week in and week out.
And when Matt mentions that, we've got a situation right off the bat in week 1 in the Sangamo Conference, where Riverton has decided not to field a varsity football team this year, and that's supposed to be Pittsfield's first game.
Right, and Pittsfield beat Riverton 47-7, I believe was the final score, in the final game of last year's regular season. Ready to open with them week 1, August 30th this year. And now Pittsfield doesn't have a game right now. And all those Sangamo Conference coaches are scrambling to fill that void on their schedule. But I don't know if Pittsfield's going to be able to find a week 1 opponent, which means they'll take a forfeit victory. I mean, that's how it would work out. But then they would go into week 2 against the defending state runner-up, Athens, without having played a game.
Yeah.
And that's a tough situation. And those seniors lose a game. All those players lose a game, but those seniors specifically lose game they can never get back.
Yeah, I think it's a developing story, which we just found out this week. I know Matt has done a story on it over on Muddy River Sports. But again, I think it's something to take a look at. Also something that's developing this year on the Missouri side is the North Central Missouri Conference, which Hannibal has owned. Basically, they co-owned it with Helias for a lot of years. But then when Helias left, Hannibal's basically owned it. Fulton leaving the NCMC next year really puts the future of that conference in question.
Yeah, we don't know where it's going to go right now, and what's Hannibal going to do? Because if you think about it, if Fulton's gone, okay, what's the point in traveling all the way to Marshall?
Yeah,
Kirksville, and all those kind of things. Why would it make more sense for Hannibal just to go down Highway 61 and join a league with Troy or Wentzville or, and see how it would fit in there? But I don't know. I don't know where Hannibal's going to go with this. I don't know where the league's going to go with this.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the Gateway would make a lot of sense, but again, they just don't know at this time. Again, so I think there's a lot of things that are going to be in play this season as we look at high school football. And again, we're looking forward to talking to some of our friends in the media outlets about it, talking to coaches, talking to players, because as the season progresses, as it evolves year round, it's going to be something to follow. And again, maybe we have a surprise team. We have teams that had down years last year but are looking to bounce back this year, like the Palmyra Panthers.
Right.
So it's going to be a very interesting football season for sure. And we've also got a team right here in our own backyard in Quincy High that is looking to see if they can break through and make a run deeper into the state playoffs when they have to go up against all of those bullies from Chicago.
But you got to think about last year was the most successful season in Quincy High School history. Undefeated regular season, won a couple playoff games, had never done that before.
Yeah.
Now what do they do as a follow-up? What's the encore, especially with such a talented senior class? You've got a bunch of guys that right now we could put on our list of preseason player of the year candidates, all playing for Quincy. I can think of 3 right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So, again, we'll have those conversations as we go through. You never know where the conversation will go on a Friday night. You never know what'll come up. If Chris Stewart drops in for hour number 2 like he's playing into week 1, who knows what he sees out there and where the conversation goes. And that's going to be the fun of it. There's some teams playing on Saturdays this year. Maybe one of those coaches wants to sit in the studio with us on a Friday night and join in the conversation. You just never know. And that's kind of the fun thing. This is organic. We're going to go week to week. We'll have coaches on the show via phone. We're going to have them call in. We're working on that. We may have some pre-recorded segments just because it's hard for people when they're on the bus on the way home to maybe get a signal. So maybe before they leave the stadium, we pre-record to talk about that night's game. But we're going to have some fun with this. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm really looking forward to talking football for 2 hours every Friday night from 10 to midnight. And I really think there's an audience for it, and I really think our communities will embrace this.
I think the other big news, obviously, as we head into this is our friends at 10th and Jackson, as Quincy Notre Dame dips its toes into the waters of the Central State 8.
It's going to be interesting because I think, especially this year with all the seniors the Raiders have and guys with experience and, one Division I recruit so far in Wyatt Mueller, who's already committed to Illinois State. They can contend with teams in the Central State 8. Can they contend with the big dogs? That's a tall task. So it's going to be interesting. And then you look at their loaded non-conference as well, starting the season with Quincy High School, with Richmond Burton. I mean, there's nothing easy about Notre Dame's schedule. But if they get through that and get into the playoffs, watch out because they're going to be a load in Class 2A.
Yeah, definitely will be battle-tested after that, after running through that gauntlet for sure. Well, again, Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. And when do we start?
August 30th, week 1, the prep football season, 10 to midnight. We're designing a studio here in our Muddy River offices specifically for this show. Can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it again. We will be live from 10 to midnight every Friday night during the regular season. We will also be posting the show on our website, on our social media sites, so you can watch it thereafter. If you're on the bus on the way home and can't watch live, you can watch it when you get home. Watch it the next morning. Watch it on Sunday. We're going to have it there for you to digest throughout the week. And we're going to come to you every Friday night from right here in the Muddy River offices.
We mentioned Farm and Home. We got a lot of other great sponsors who we're going to talk about as we get closer to this. Ron Kincher's done a great job of getting people very excited about it. And again, I just want you to bear with us because we've never really done live stuff before. We've done some live court stuff and things like that, but this is the kind of our first on-the-fly live produced program. I mean, I've done that a lot in my career, harkening back to my TV days. But yeah, this is something that, again, bear with us as we bring this to you. And I'm sure by the time weeks 9 and 10 roll around, it will be a finely tuned and humming machine.
We're going to have a blast.
It's going to be fun. Don't get me wrong.
Again,
but if we punch up a Quincy High graphic when we're talking about Quincy Notre Dame, sorry, but
that stuff doesn't bother me. And if you watch when I do Shuck on a Truck,
sure,
things happen.
Oh yeah,
and we just roll with the flow.
Yeah.
We're going to do that with this because
Absolutely.
I think that's the organic nature of these live shows and of the things we do is we're human. You know, we have flaws. We make mistakes, just like a kid that runs the wrong play or
Yeah.
misses a block.
Yeah.
You know, or drops a pass. We're gonna fumble.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again,
And so that's the fun of it. But we hope you enjoy that.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna make fun of ourselves. We're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna showcase football in every way we possibly can. And we hope you enjoy it. We hope you watch. We hope you chime in. We'll have the social medias up going during the show and thereafter if you want to chime in and give us thoughts. Who knows? We may read your tweet or something on the air, because I'll have the computer out following along while we do the show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
just keep it clean.
That's right.
That's all we want. Just this is a family show.
And these are high school kids.
These are
Remember
high school
that.
kids. Yeah, we don't bash them. You know, everybody
No.
makes mistakes. Somebody, you know, again, that's
We're
not what we
here to
do.
highlight the kids, the teams, the coaches, the communities. Again, football is a community sport. These are community events. It's not just about what goes on between the line.
Yeah.
We want to embrace that idea that this is our sports community. That's why we do this. That's why
Yes.
we love what we do. So we want to be part of that sports community, and we want you to be a part of it too.
Anyway, Muddy Night Lights, powered by Farm and Home Supply. We just want to thank them and all the other sponsors we've got coming aboard, and we're really looking forward to bringing this to you starting August 30th.